How's it going, folks, and welcome back to Park to Prem. We are here with FC United. This is Season 4 at this club. It's the end of 2028, and today we're going to win the league. That's a prompt. We're going to win the league, and then we're going to do the end of season wrap-up and stuff. We're not bottling it today. I hope. It should be fine. I hope. Nothing certain here, is it? Let's be honest. Roll the intro. I say nothing is certain, but in all honesty, if I bottle the league table from here, I may never play Football Manager again. That is the situation we're in. 3 games left of the season. We are 7 points clear of Southend United at the top of the table. 1 win in our last 3 games, and we're done. I can jump forward to the end of the season. We can have a party. We can celebrate how we're going to have to replace Harker in goal, who's been useless as of late. And it'll be a fun time. It really has been a crazy season, though. You might remember last year it went down to the wire and we finished on 92 points. Yeah, last year, 93 points would have won you the league. This year, Southend, with 3 games left to go, have over 100 points. Unfortunately for them, we also have over 100 points. It's been a really, really crazy season. Both teams have pushed one another super, super hard. But today, we're hopefully going to wrap it all up. We have played 1 game since we were last here. We beat Barrow in the league. You can see here it finished 4-2. Riches picked up a hat-trick. Things we love to see. The 19-year-old has been very, very good. He has recently become natural at centre attacking mid. That is why all his attributes here have dropped down. But the good news is he's in form, he's playing well, and that kind of applies to the whole team as we enter today's game. So, plan of attack, beat Hartlepool, celebrate the trophy, it gets lifted, we have a lovely time, and then we can spend the second half of today's video talking about the future, having a look at Three Bridges, and really kind of, I suppose, looking a little further forward. So in terms of team news for today's game, no injuries, no suspensions, it's pretty much a full-strength team, which is what we want to see. In goal, we are going to go with Harker. I've kind of already hinted at it. I'm thinking we might need a new goalkeeper next year. Harker really did let us down in the Derby County FA Cup game, and ever since then, I felt a little out of favour with him, I suppose. He just doesn't really feel good enough. But elsewhere in the team, I kind of look across it. I really, really like our squad. We've got Regan Booty, of course, at left back, a player who's been super consistent this year, a good player for most teams at this level. He's been in good form, a good leader to have in the dressing room as well. Out on the right-hand side, we have Thomas Sang and his outrageous value that I still don't really understand. There is a small part of me that thinks if someone bid 2.5 million, maybe even just 2 million, maybe I should just take the money and run with him. He's been a good right back. He's not been a great right back, really, since he's come in. He certainly hasn't one-upped Dylan Crow, which was perhaps what we were hoping from him. As centre-back, we've got Quansah and Donaldson. Quansah, of course, has had a lot of interest in him. No intentions of selling him, but going into the last year of his contract, he isn't going to sign a new deal. Maybe we look to move him on. To his left, we have Liam Donaldson, of course, the 19-year-old, really become a mainstay of the first team this year. A 7.39 average rating for him is really, really crazy, especially because he's not a goal-scoring centre-back. This isn't a case of he's getting loads of corner headers and they're massively inflating his average rating. He is just an outstanding defender, the kind of player who, if we look, is apparently currently a national-level kind of player, but could be good enough to play in League One. And I kind of look across our team and kind of think, yeah, actually, we are kind of ready for League Two already, and maybe even a promotion next year. Let's not get ahead of ourselves just yet. Moving up into the midfield, we've got Jake Garrett at the defensive mid role. Truth be told, in Football Manager, defensive midfielders are just done dirty by the average ratings. They can play really, really well. They'll still get a 6.7. It's just the laws of Football Manager this year. It's a bit annoying, but he has done perfectly fine for us. To his right, we're going to go with Engesson. Of course, he has been battling for a first-team spot this year alongside the likes of Jamie Dunn. Maitland's come into contention. Elsewhere, Ibrahim on occasion has kind of pushed for that Mazzala position. Ibrahim has had a little bit of interest in him. I think next year there is going to be maybe a small temptation to cash in on some of our players. Obviously, our overall balance isn't amazing. And with us going up into League Two, I would like to think that the reputation rise that we get will also inflate some of our player prices to the point where actually we get bids that I can seriously consider. Because we have had bids this year, and one such player we've had a bid for is a player like Ross Butterworth, who of course is one of the leaders in the dressing room, one of our star players, but I'm never going to sell him for £80,000 when Birmingham come a-knocking in January. It's just not going to happen. He has 2 years left on his current contract, but like a lot of our young players, upon promotion, that is going to go up by another 3 years, that expiry date. It's just going to get moved further away. We've got that with a lot of our young players, so we really can tie the core of this team round and kind of down to the team. Darren Richards is the exact same. Richards has a 3-year extension. He's already got a 3-year deal, so he could be here for the next 6 years should we win one of the 3 remaining games. Up top, we've got Duffy, of course, playing as a striker. He doesn't have a promotional wage rise, which is a little bit annoying, but still got a year left on his current deal. And of course, we then have Stephen Gold, who has a contract extension of 3 years. His current contract expires in 3 years. He is the main man, isn't he, really, at this point? 38 goals to his name. I'm wondering it. You're wondering it. How well can this man do in League 2? I'm very, very excited to find out. I realise that the opening to today's video has just become an impromptu kind of bigging up of our team for next year and casting an eye forward to League 2 already. And whilst, you know what, maybe I shouldn't get ahead of myself. We have to lose all of our remaining games. Southend have to win all of their remaining games. It just simply shouldn't happen. Of course, we fought similarly in the FA Trophy semi-final. We thought we might be back for the FA Trophy final today. We could have had a really sexy end to the season when it comes to matches. It's not really happened. But let's hope we can have a little bit of a goal fiesta today. We're at home against Hartlepool, and there is a kickoff highlight, which, I don't know, kickoff highlights are just kind of exciting, aren't they, when you're one of the bigger teams? When you're a team at the top of the table, a kickoff highlight gets you giddy. When you're a newly promoted team in the Premier League, you see the kickoff highlight, your head slumps in your hands, you start to cry. But no, we want to see kickoff highlights. We have capabilities going forward, and I wouldn't mind just a nerve eraser of a goal. Oh my word, Butterworth almost bent it into the top corner. An early goal would just help me settle a little bit today. That was a crazy effort by Butterworth. The woodwork denied him. I imagine we'll have a few more chances between now and the end of the game. Corner on the far side, Thomas Sang, who I've kind of semi-thrown under the bus, crosses it in, puts it on Quanza's head. It's 1-0 already. Dylan Crowe could never. I say that. Dylan Crowe did it about 40 times a season, it felt like, the near post corners to Quanza. But of course, as we climb up through the league, you can't really rely on battering rams of players anymore. You know, you can't just get players who are bigger for set pieces like we did back in the Three Bridges days with Sadiq and obviously with Quanza in the earlier years, because the quality of players are just better. And that kind of technical ability, that mental ability to pick up players, mark them better. Also, just better players in the higher divisions tend to be taller, stronger, and better at jumping. That edge that I suppose we've lent on quite heavily during our time in non-league football doesn't really exist anymore. It's kind of weird, right? Park to Prem, we've been going, what, for 7 seasons now? I want to say this is season 7 of Park to Prem. I feel like we're now getting out of the Park era, almost, the non-league era. We're starting to get to the point where proper football is played or something. I say all of that. I want to see Stephen Gold heading in goals in the Premier League in 5 years. That's the dream as far as I'm concerned, that he can keep doing it forever. But we have to be aware that, you know, there is a jump up in the quality of the leagues. And whilst I feel pretty prepared for the next division, there are going to be kind of cutthroat decisions that have to maybe be made with favourites in the next year or two. And I'm not looking forward to making them, and I'm not looking forward to the riots in the comment section. But anyway, as I've been talking away here, it remains 1-0, but we are on the offensive once more, and Duffy is going to be played through. He is very good at his playmaking abilities, and putting in crosses like that. Unfortunately, Stephen Gold hits the woodwork with that header. Not for the first time. We've left their crossbar shaking. Hartlepool, a team towards the bottom of the table. We are not going to repeat the heroics of the previous corner. They are going to deal with it, and it is going to remain 1-0 here, I think, as Ammon just hacks Riches to the ground. That wasn't very nice. Riches with the ball at his feet, inside to Ngessen. Sang on the overlap. One assist from, well, a set piece. Can he get one from open play here? Sang crosses it in. Duffy near post pulls it back to Riches. He got a hat-trick in the last game. He's got another goal here. That takes him to 19 for the season. Of course, he was a massive proponent of the FA Cup run, Riches. He is a player who I'm certainly kind of marking down as, yes, you are a player who could play with us for the next few years. He really has developed this year and come into his own. And now that he's natural at centre attacking mid, he just, I don't know, he feels like he's jumped up a level in the last couple of games. He was sensational there, took it away, no nonsense. And if we get a third before half-time, I don't know, maybe get me a cocktail. Maybe get me ready to party. I'll get a deck chair out. We'll unfold it. We'll stick it at the edge of the technical area. I can put on my sunglasses and just have a great time watching the season roll on. Of course, there are 2 games left after this, but they will not matter if we win here. We have a chance to wrap it up early, and I feel like we are going to take that chance. It's maybe a question of by how many, as we knock the ball through sensationally. That is a beautiful goal. Every single kind of player in our attacking triangle involved in play. Riches, Duffy and Gold. Their link-ups at play has been really, really good this second half of the season, and you see it again here, but it wasn't really just limited to them. Butterworth and also Ngessen involved in the build-up. Nicely knocked around, and the finish just tapping it into that bottom corner, squeezing it in, makes it 3-0. Hartlepool, not very good, it turns out. Thought we were going to make it in at the break 3-0. It could be 4-0. There is one last highlight here to close out the action. Regan Booty, Butterworth to Ingesson, hits it just over the bar. This is possibly the most simple team talk I'm ever going to do. You've done brilliantly. Keep it up. More of the same in the second half, although, to be honest, the players can start chilling out, I think. Because Southend, if I'm not mistaken, they're not even winning their game. Southend, what are you doing? They're drawing 1-1 with Oldham. Because Oldham, our favourite team in the world, after they dumped us out the FA Trophy, they can maybe go on a redemption arc if they hold Southend there. With 18 minutes left, just a few changes made. We've brought on Jones at CDM. Dunn's come in at centre attacking mid and Maitland has gone in up top. And with 8 minutes left, I think this game is done. I think promotion is going to be happening and we are going to get to see the trophy hoisted aloft in front of our home fans. Unless we have the mother of all collapses. But it's not going to happen, is it? I mean, if it happens now, it's mental. It's not going to happen. After, I'll be honest, after the last episode, I feel like anything is possible. I have trust issues with this football club. I'm sure it's going to be fine. Although the fact there is a highlight here, and they do still need to score 3 goals in the next 4 minutes. It shouldn't happen. It can't happen. Can it? If they get one. If they get one. Lions back post, he's actually scored. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. I'm definitely not panicking, but I am going to shorten the passing, lower the tempo, up time wasting, get rid of passing to space, and play the ball out of defence. Let's just hold on to possession for the last few minutes and just chill. I'm skipping the highlight. Just get me to the end of the game. Football Manager, I'm looking at you. 3 minutes of added time. The time is trickling away. It's done. Southend didn't even win their last game of the year. And with it, we've won the league, right? Right? Do we get a trophy lift? Do we not get to lift the trophy? Okay. We have won it. It is there was no trophy. They've taken our trophy. That was weird. Okay, I don't know why we've not seen a trophy lift, but it is official. FC United win the Vanarama National League. The board have set the budgets for next year. Transfer budget of £3,000. Wage budget, 43,000. That's quite a lot, isn't it? Yeah, okay, that is a lot. 15,000 more to spend. I thought we could get promoted with our current team. With that amount of money, I mean, we really should be getting promoted. I will feel like I've let a lot of people down. The supporters are praising me. The board are happy. It's the highest ever finish in the club's history. We've completed Rich's promise of getting promoted to League 2. The board are delighted. 3 years ahead of schedule, we've secured promotion. Duffy getting man of the match on that final game. Apparently, Ross County, his manager, was at the game to look at Donaldson. Absolutely not. Absolutely. Donaldson, can we give you a new contract, mate? Can we give him a new contract? How much is he on at the moment? He's currently on £950. He wants £50 more to sign for 4 years. You know what? I don't mind that. Although, can we slap in an optional contract extension? Can we make it a fat contract? We can make it a fat contract. 6 years at the club he's willing to commit to, pending a promotion, of course. And you can see here, couple of bonuses paid out. They aren't going to break the bank. Why are words hard? I'm getting choked up. It's very emotional. So there you have it, folks. We are officially champions. We have got 2 games left of the league season. We're not going to cover them in this video. Instead, we're going to jump to the end of the year. We're going to have a party. We're going to have a celebration. Take a look back on the team for the season. And as I already kind of alluded to, we do need to plan ahead, especially with all this money and wage budget that we're going to be given. I mean, we have a lot to spend suddenly. And maybe I can make bigger changes than I was planning. But anyway, no messing around. I'm going to join you guys at the end of the season. Couple of games to play. Don't go anywhere. Now, I know what you're thinking, Jack. You look different to you did a second ago. That's because this is being recorded after the rest of the video. I forgot to talk about Free Bridges. I forgot to talk about my manager profile. For the sake of this little segment of the video that's been done in retrospect, I have gone to the end of the season. York City ended up winning the playoffs. That's right. Southend, they bottled it, a bit like we bottled it last year. If we just have a look at the playoff format, first round and then tree, you can see here how the playoffs played out. York City ended up getting promoted. Fair play to them. And yeah, Southend and all their money not going up. It would bottle the playoffs, not me. So as well as free bridges, I know a few people wanted to see my manager profile. So here it is at the end of the season with all the games wrapped up, of course. 34 years old now. Our current contract has 2 years left on it on £800 a week. It's worth noting, I still have no coaching qualifications. I believe in real life to even manage at like the National League level, kind of the regional North and South National Leagues, you do need coaching badges. So that is something I am going to look to get kicked off with kind of next season, hopefully, maybe. In terms of our kind of tendencies and stuff, you can see them all here. Our attributes are, well, what you can see on screen. They have naturally improved over time just through playing experience. Of course, we are now 7 seasons in to this save game, so we are a little bit in the future in that regard. And in terms of my overall history, you can see here 0 days spent on holiday, total value of players bought, 74k, total value of players sold, 245k. AOK is our biggest signing, and Fuscalini, whose name it's Ficini, Jack. I'm still saying it wrong every time. He's our biggest sale. Realise, I've completely forgot my trailer thought because of his name. As for free bridges, good news. They've not been relegated. They've not been liquidated. Financially, they are still considered financially insecure. Aaron Ben is their top goal scorer for the season. Of course, he was a player we signed for them. He got 34 goals for us. Since then, in the season since, he's only just got over 34 in the remainder of his time at the club. He's got 40 goals in the last 4 seasons. Look, he's a good player. He's not great. And as for free bridges themselves, well, to be fair, they did okay, right? They finished mid-table. They finished in 7th if we just look at their league history. Of course, we took them to a 2nd place finish. Since then, they've kind of just stagnated in mid-table. And their key player is Carl Eppel, who was a player that we signed for them. In fact, when I looked through their team, the vast majority of the players they do have here are the players that we signed for them. I know someone's going to ask, where is Sadiq, Jack? He left to go to Hampton and Richmond Borough. So, yeah, club legend left. I'm a bit sad about it too. But anyway, that's a little overview of my manager profile, free bridges and how they're getting on. Now we can get forward to the award ceremony thing. Pass Jack, take it away. So here we have it, the final league table at the end of the season. We won our 2 remaining games, 117 points the total we ended on, which if I'm not mistaken, is a league record. Just 3 defeats all year, 1 away against Carlisle, and then Aldershot Town and Southend, the other teams that bested us. Of course, we are going to be mighty relieved to not be involved in the playoffs this year. I don't want to get involved in this. I don't know who's going to make it through it. To be honest, if Southend don't make it through, I think it would be in our interest to look at some of their better players, some of the players who are very, very good, let's be honest, and try and snap some of them up, because they probably are good enough for League 2 level. But I am getting ahead of myself a little bit. We are going to have a look at the end of season review ceremony. Still one of my favourite features in Football Manager in recent years. I feel like I say it every time this screen pops up, but I just feel like it's a super satisfying way to look at things at the end of the year here. Of course, this year, Thomas Sang and Regan Booty brought in to play left back and right back. That was an area of the pitch that last year I did feel like defensively we weren't quite good enough in, and between the two of them, some really, really impressive average ratings. In fact, the best 2 average ratings of all our new players, and not far behind them either, Liam Donaldson, who of course we signed on a freebie from Manchester City. He wound up getting player of the season in terms of, new signing of the season, which is absolutely just nuts to see. Elsewhere, Darren Riches chipped in with 19 goals and 15 assists, and Gesson 7 goals, 10 assists. All in all, a really good kind of team performance this year. And in fact, of all our new signings, the player with the lowest average rating was Tumelo, who actually ended up with an average rating above 7. It's safe to say that this year, none of the signings that we made really flopped. Of course, we did move some players out. Fuscalini was the most notable. He went to AFC Wimbledon for £110,000. He played 7 games for them in League 1. Didn't play a massive amount. We have got a sell on in his contract. The kind of player who I did wonder, maybe I would loan back in. And then I discovered Miguel Martinez, who, if we just compare with Fuscalini, you can see here the head-to-head comparison. Miguel has agreed to sign for us. I've delayed it because I don't know if I'm going to do this deal or not. It's a free transfer. He wants £2,300 a week. He's playing for Man City currently. Could be maybe the next Donaldson. He's got 17 caps for Venezuela. He's just quite exciting. And having a Venezuelan international in League 2, I just feel like would be quite cool. He is also part English, so work permit's not a problem. You can let me know whether or not you'd sign him down in the comments. I still haven't really made a decision. I feel like he's just quite different and unique, and for that reason I want him. But whether or not that's a good reason to sign a player, I'm not entirely sure. Anyway, you can see here a big season overview. In the end, only a B- from the board. Not sure what more we could have done for them, really. You can see here Stephen Gould's 18 goals made him top goal scorer in the league. Average attendance of 4,100. That's 93% of our potential kind of capacity. And as you've already seen from the previous league table, we ran away with things. In the FA Trophy, we got knocked out by Oldham. Let's not focus on that. Let's focus on the FA Cup run. And what a run it was. We ended up, of course, getting knocked out in the FA Cup 4th round by Derby County, but a memorable run that saw us knock out League 1 Huddersfield, League 2 Lincoln City, and then also Championship side Millwall. I feel like those results have to give us a little bit of confidence going into the new year as we do move into the Football League. Our biggest win was a 7-1 win against Barnet, if I'm not mistaken. We did that in an episode. That happened live and was very exciting. And the match to remember was against Wealdstone, apparently. I don't really remember it. Financially, we made more money than ever. Of course, the cup run helped with that. The TV money that came as a result of that helped with it too. You can see here kind of the match day income all increased from last year. In fact, all the different income sources, but perhaps not quite to the level that we'd hope. We are still, of course, a little bit in the red when it comes to the balance, but we're not going to get bogged down in that too much, at least not right now. It feels like a time for celebration, really. Of course, I did pick up Manager of the Month on 2 occasions. Stephen Gould picked up Fans Player of the Year, Young Player of the Year. Donaldson, is who we already talked about, won Signing of the Year. Butterworth got Goal of the Season. I mean, Stephen Gould, he was the man of the moment again. It will not be long, I don't think, before he is considered one of the best players in I don't know, maybe Park to Prem history. Would that be too much of a step? He's got a little way to go, I suppose, to match Dylan Turnbull, Andrei Svetsov, and just other players who have come through the ranks of previous Park to Prem series. But I feel like after 4 years, his numbers are pretty good. I'm a little bit nervous that he is going to hit a ceiling eventually where he can't quite do it. But for now, I mean, he's absolutely going to be given a chance in League 2. I can't wait to see how he gets on. So, of course, with a new season comes new club vision stuff, and I'm a little bit nervous for what they're going to say for next year, but actually, it's not too unreasonable. In League 2, they want us to avoid a relegation battle. I've already talked about it. I really want to, I don't know, get promoted next year. There's 3 automatic promotion spots in League 2 and the playoffs. We have players, we have good quality. Of course, the club culture remains the same, although it is an annoying concoction of different cultures that they want me to tick off all at once, which, I mean, I relish the challenge. In terms of 5-year plan, work within wage budget, sign players to sell on for profit, not something we've done a massive amount just yet. Talked about it earlier, but with us now going up a league, I am hoping we might start to get bids that I can even actually consider for players that are going to kind of be better representative of just how good they are. And another plan is to expand the stadium. Of course, we're already selling it out at 93% average in the league. There's not that much more space at Broadhurst Park without an expansion. Of course, the stadium itself, not particularly old. If we just have a quick peek, it was built in 2015. So only 13 years old, but we are filling it fairly frequently right now. So just looking at the squad for this year and the big performers, of course, goal scoring wise, Stephen Gould led the way, but don't turn your nose up at Joe Duffy. This man chipped in with a lot of goals this year, 20 in the league in 37 games, but across all competitions, he managed to get 32 goals. His goals in the FA Cup proved invaluable. Of course, he made that transition from centre attacking mid to striker this year. He did very, very well, to be honest, in both positions. You can see here the ratings across the 2 different positions he played for us. I think actually that ended up being a really good move. Of course, Darren Riches kind of made a similar move from being a left winger to being a centre attacking mid for us. You can see this year, 18 goals, 14 assists. As a centre attacking mid, he really, really did flourish this year. We did give him minutes as a striker because I did wonder if he could maybe do that role for us, but to be honest, I think we found his best position. We got a lot out of him this year. And I think that can be extended to a lot of the players in this team. Of course, Maitland getting plenty of goals on off the bench. He is a little unhappy at the moment with his kind of lack of first-team football, his lack of starts. But I do see him as an important player for us. You can see a good player for Vanarama National League sides, League 1 potential. For any other National League team, he would probably walk in and be their regular starter. For us, he's been a squad player this year, and I think he's good enough to be a squad player in League 2 for us. So really, the attacking position isn't where I'm too concerned. To be honest, it's all just about getting a little bit of quality everywhere, I feel like, going into the next year. From an assist point of view, Butterworth led the way. Not only did he get 16 assists in all competitions, he also got 10 goals to his name. Really, really valuable part of our team. He is, of course, our kind of captain on the regular. He is our vice captain, but he starts more games than the actual captain, so he takes the armband more often than not. You can see here, he has been attracting some interest from some League One teams, which, on the one hand, it leaves me with maybe a dilemma and a bit of a fear that they're going to bid on him. On the flip side, when teams in the leagues above you show interest in your players, kind of makes you feel like you're onto a good thing and you don't really want to let them going. Ross Butterworth is definitely a player who I would kind of give that kind of label to. Of course, Thomas Sang and Regan Booty, we talked about them as the right back and left back who came in this year. They were really, really solid. They really, really pleasantly surprised me as a duo. Regan Booty perhaps better going forward, Sang better defensively. But you can see here between them, they really did do a lot of work for us. 22 assists between them. I'm not sure if we could quite compare them to Andy Robertson and Trent Alexander-Arnold, but I certainly see them in that vein. In the system that we play with wing-backs, there's a lot of emphasis on them to get up the pitch, to really, contribute going forward. They both did that massively this year. So now we get to that awkward point where I look at the team and I kind of say, who needs replacing? Where do we need to improve things? And honestly, this year, I've been really happy with things, but goalkeeping-wise, it's safe to say that Harker just hasn't quite been good enough. I feel like he's let us down. He's gone missing in some big games. There's certainly points that we dropped this year that I think we could point the finger at him for. AOK, of course, we sold on in January and then loaned back. I don't really plan on extending his loan. He's a good backup player. If they would let me have him as a backup without paying any of his wages, I guess I would take him on. But really, at 19 years old, he's not the ready-made article, certainly not the finished article that we're looking for in the goalkeeping position. Defensively, Booty and Sang, I'm happy with. Quansah and Donaldson, delighted with. Of course, Donaldson picked up signing of the year. When we built the defence for this year with 3 new players coming into it, I kind of was looking at players who I felt would be ready with the step up to League 2 to continue playing. So don't expect overhaul there. In the midfield, I've not loved our defensive midfielder options this year. Jake Garrett has kind of been fine, but he's not been mega impressive. I would say that the defensive mid position is one where I might look to change things around, be that to go to kind of a narrower system, be that to maybe change the ball in midfielder to be kind of a deep line playmaker, pinging balls from deep. Maybe then Riches becomes a shadow striker or just a regular attacking midfielder. Certainly in Riches' case, he's not got the craziest passing or vision, so maybe a deep line playmaker makes the most sense in that kind of area of the pitch. On the right-hand side, Nguesson was fine for us, but he's not super complete. Defensively, I have a couple of question marks over him, and I do feel like with us stepping up a level, having super complete midfielders, especially in this kind of system, is going to be important. Even if they are largely going to play as a Mazzala, there is going to be periods next year where we don't have the ball, and having kind of slightly more defensive midfielders is going to be in our benefit, especially because I do intend to kind of stick with Butterworth out on the left-hand side of the centre mid position. I feel like the 2 players alongside him need to be able to cover up for, I suppose, his defensive deficiencies. In terms of attackers, I'm happy with Riches. Duffy and Gold, I think, are good enough for League 2 level. I think they're very complementary. Duffy is a very playmakery player, very quick, technically gifted, not terrible in the air, but certainly not his strength like it is for Stephen Gold. And then on the bench, I like Maitland, and I like Cannonier, to be honest. I know Cannonier hasn't shone this year. He's not been amazing for us, but I feel like he is good enough to play League 2 level for us as a backup. He's got a bit of potential. I'm hoping we can still develop him a little bit, even if he is 23 now. I feel like the bench is really where we're going to look to strengthen things. Mohamed Ibrahim, perfectly good. Besides him, though, I do look at the overall depth in our team and think, yeah, there's a couple of positions here where we probably need to strengthen things up, where we probably need to bring new players in. If we just look at the kind of current first team, you can see a lot of the backups who were kind of outside of the bench this year do have their contracts running up. The likes of Matthew Blake, Harry Lennon, Purrington, who really just came in to be a squad player this year but wasn't called upon. Similarly with Tom Sams. These are all good players. They're players where, I don't know, they're not quite good enough. And I think if we upgrade the defence with better backups, great. It might even be a case of we find someone who is even better than Quansah, they start, and then Quansah drops down to the bench. Sometimes I feel like that is the best way to bolster your bench, is just by kind of building players on top of your already kind of starting players that you don't really feel like replacing, then they drop down to fill the slots in behind. That's kind of where my head's at the moment. I feel like a lot of it's going to come down to the kind of players that are available. Certainly, a goalkeeper is top of the shopping list. I think we already knew that, though. But anyway, gang, that is going to wrap up today's video from me. If you have enjoyed it, as always, do drop a like on things. I appreciate the support with this series massively. I'm hoping to have season number 5 at FC United starting tomorrow. I've got a lot of Football Manager to play between then and now. So if you've enjoyed the video, do drop a like on it. Let me know what parts of the team you would be looking to improve. Is there an obvious position that I'm kind of ignoring? Do you agree with me that our squad is pretty good for League 2 level, that promotion doesn't feel that out of reach? Of course, if big offers come in for some of our players and we can fix the finances, that probably is something I am going to have to look into doing and seriously consider. Besides that, have a lovely rest of your Wednesday. We are back tomorrow, and well, until then, it is me, Jack, and I will talk to you guys in a bit. I'm out.